Hi. So, this is the last article I will be presenting on, and it just so happened to be a non-academic article. And so this week I decided to write about Snoopy. Partly because I was wearing this shirt, I was like, oh, Snoopy, okay. But anyways, let's get into it. The article that I chose to write about wasn't really an article, and more so like a 9 facts you didn't know about peanuts kind of deal from the History Channel website. But they had some really interesting kind of tidbits and facts about it, so I kind of went off that. But there were 9 of them, but the most interesting to me were the fact that Peanuts as a comic strip was not a hit when it first came out, and that, you know, it was voted like least liked in a poll for like comic strips in the Sunday paper and stuff. That was very shocking to me. And then the next one was that the creator, Charles Schulz, hated the name Peanuts, which was also very shocking to me. And then the last thing was that TV executives believed that a Charlie Brown Christmas was going to flop. So these are all very surprising things. And you ask, how is this important? Well, it's important to me, not only because I love Snoopy, but also because that says a lot about, how someone can work, I guess. How they can produce their product. Because even though Snoopy was a really unsuccessful comic strip when it first came out, within 8 years, there were plastic toys of Charlie Brown, Snoopy, and the Peanuts kids, and there were global publications of the comic strip. You could find it in every country, just in 8 years. From being least liked to that is pretty crazy. And then also, to go to an artist and give them a name of their series, project a name to them, and they say they hate it, but then it's still the name of the series, that is pretty crazy, because the name is one of the most important aspects to any product. The name is how you recognize something, like Apple, car companies, their name. Ford, Peanuts, when you say Peanuts, you're either thinking of the peanut or Charlie Brown. So it's quite crazy that the creator never liked Peanuts, never liked the name. He always wanted it to be like good old Charlie Brown, or some like the little ones or something. And to me, that's important because, sometimes there's going to be life choices that you have to make that you're going to hate, but you have to make them anyways. And it sucks, but you just have to live with that. And to create something and to hate it, but then you have to keep that because that's what everyone knows it by. It's pretty crazy. And then the last thing, the Charlie Brown Christmas movie was going to flop. These TV executives were like, you should change all of this. It's not going to be good. People aren't going to like it. And then to have the movie be so successful that it runs like every year. It eventually won an Emmy because it was like the longest running movie on a TV network or something. It's a very beloved movie that everybody watches, even now. kids still watch Peanuts and the Charlie Brown Christmas movie, and also the Halloween movie too. And in that situation, you know, there were these decisions that the TV executives did not want to make because they were afraid it was going to be bad. But the creator, you know, stayed with his creative decision and was like, no, this is how it's going to be, and because I say so. And so these last 2 points kind of connect with each other because, you know, he had to be open-minded enough to accept something he didn't like, and then he was also firm enough in what he wanted that, you know, he didn't listen to the TV executive producers' opinions and was like, no, we're going to keep these kids that have no professional acting experience as the voice actors because it's better, and we're going to keep it jazz because I like jazz. And then, you know, we get this incredible product. So to me, that's why it's important, because it's like, wow, these are some pretty crazy life lessons in these small facts. And in terms of how I would apply this to my own project is, first of all, I love mascots. Peanuts, you know, Snoopy. I love like Sanrio, like Hello Kitty, you know, and so many other mascot type products. I think it would be really fun to kind of produce my own and have like a mascot for like each stage of my life, you know, or I just think it's a really fun use to brand yourself or to create a brand. But then also these facts, you know, really help me like mentally and my thought processes of how I approach work and life, because I am very stubborn when it comes to things that I don't want to change, and I feel like he was too, because of these, you know, the Charlie Brown Christmas movie and all these things that he didn't want to change with it. But then, you know, knowing that he hates the title of his life's work says a lot for me, and, you know, tells me to keep an open mind in my future life and what I'm creating. And honestly, I don't think it will be so much of an external problem, like people telling me things that I don't want to do, but rather an internal problem where I'm like, I want to do this, and then I'm like, people aren't gonna like that. So I think it'll mostly help myself in deciding on how I want to produce something. And so yeah, there was actually a lot to learn from a 9 facts about Peanuts that you didn't know article, and I think it's really going to help me in the long term. So yeah, that's all I have to say about Peanuts, and thanks for watching.